I'm so excited about these upcoming stations types of ideas. So the first station is whole group. So the first activity is whole group. And then the last two are going to be stations. So smaller groups with students working on different activities. Right here, the first one is popcorn predictions. This activity, I was listening to a podcast. It was teaching middle school ELA, and they talked about cliffhanger sentences. And this idea sounded so much fun. So, what you do first is you find sentences from the book. So, I just did a quick Google search, and right here, I created a Google Doc that has all of these different quotes from Touching Spirit Bear. So, again, you're going to do this before you start reading the book. So, for example, one of them is whatever you do to the animals, you do to yourself. Remember that. So, let's kind of use that one for an example. Then, on step two, students are going to have this page printed. And what they're going to do is they're going to have a timer. And I'm going to create a timer and add it to this slide. So, what they're going to do is they're going to pop around the room. That's why it's called popcorn predictions. And they're going to share their sentence strips with other classmates. And then they're going to write down different predictions and different conversations that they have about those sentence strips. As they read those sentences, they're going to maybe find their prediction could change as they're talking with other people. And so, again, prediction one is going to be their prediction. Prediction two is going to be with classmate one, classmate two here, classmate three, and then they're going to come back to their seat for a final prediction. I'm thinking 1 minute at each of these, and that includes a transition time. So, probably about 45 seconds for them to have a conversation about both of those different sentences and just have that quick conversation with each other. So, it's going to be about like 1 to 2 minutes, depending on that. So again, it's probably going to be 2 minutes. So one person would go for 45, and then the timer would start again and go for another 45 seconds. And then the kids can have those conversations. That is popcorn predictions. After that, this activity right here, picture this, it's down here in the speaker notes. You would assign this to students in Google Classroom. So let me type picture this. And I'm going to go ahead and click this slide deck. And we have all the vocab words in here for Touching Spirit Bear in the speaker notes. So students, again, every single student's going to get a copy of this. They're going to go to their slide and start to find two images for that word. And if they click this white area, they can search the web, and then they can search for those words. They can also use a Google search if they wanted to. So once they have those two words, they're then going to give three different clues. Students can also use Google to search and get to know these words, but they are going to come up with three different clues, and they cannot use the word in the clue. And then later you can make this a game. So the students will look at the images, they'll look at the clues, and then they can guess what the vocab word is. So again, you'll use those student examples later. You can also have maybe, for example, bizarre. One student has this image and another one has that, and you can do some compare and contrast with that activity. So again, every single student gets a copy of this in Google Classroom. Then the final activity is a Pear Deck. So in this Pear Deck, students are going to go to Alaska. I made it self-paced for this group, but again, you could do it whole group, or you could do it self-paced like this. And students just click through the Pear Deck activity, and they're able to have a text. They can use a highlighter to highlight. They can use Immersive Reader to listen to the article. They can also go back and forward. And they're just going to do real quick what they know, what they wonder, and what they hope. This article is about Alaska. And then they're going to, again, go through here, answer some questions, and then they actually go to Alaska. So on here's the Pear Deck. This will have it full screen, and then they can view all of these different scenic virtual realities of Alaska. If they get this screen, they just need to click right here, and it's going to open up another tab, and then they can view it as well that way. So that is a fun activity for the students to do using Pear Deck. And then they're just going to draw two different things that they noticed while exploring Alaska, and they're going to vote. So again, there's just some reflection questions. Let me know if you need help with this lesson.